Mamelodi Sundowns from South Africa are trying to break a curse, the curse of always falling in the knockout stages of the Champions League. And for this year, they start with Esperance Tunis. So in this video, I'm going to go deep into the game, go deep into the camp of both teams, tell you about who are the players who are favorite to, of course, perform on both sides. And by the end of the video, you really have a better understanding of what to expect in this Champions League game. So just stay tuned.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Alright, so welcome back. It's CAF Champions League time. CAF Champions League quarterfinal. And this is a big one. I think it's the biggest of the round so far for all the games you're playing. Esperance and then Mamelodi Sundowns. So let me first get into the Esperance team. And they have a lot of big problems. Like, very, very big problems. First, let's start with this guy, Roger Aholo, who for the past 1 year has been their engine, their midfield dynamite, the main man in terms of the midfield of, that is, Esperance Tunis. He coordinates everything. He blocks everything. He's the energy in midfield. But unfortunately, for the game against Sundowns, he's out injured. He's injured for quite an extended period of time. So even during the international break, he was unable to play for Togo because he played for the Togo national team, but he was unable to play for the Togo national team during the international break. So he's out of the game with an injury. Then there is also this man, Rodrigo Rodriguez, who is a key player for Esperance in this team. You remember last year, these two teams played in the semi-final of the Champions League. And this man, Rodrigo, got 2 assists in those games. So Esperance got 2 goals in those games. Once during the first leg, once during the second leg. And this man, Rodriguez, was the one who got 2 assists for both goals. But unfortunately, this time around, the striker is injured and he wouldn't be playing part of that game with, that is, Mamelodi Sundowns. Then finally, there is also this man, Yatin Maria, captain of Esperance, leader, the man who orchestrates the back, the man who directs the back. He's also out injured. So for the Esperance team, they have 3 key players in 3 key areas. A key player in defense, a key player in midfield, and a key player in attack, all out injured. As if all this isn't enough, this man, Lorenzo Regekampf, who is the coach of Esperance, was sacked just before the game against, that is, Mamelodi Sundowns. So this man, I don't know the expectations of the Esperance team, but he was top of his group in the CAF Champions League. He's now joined top of the league in Tunisia, qualified to the quarterfinal of the Champions League, won the Tunisia Super Cup only a month ago. But because of a few draws he had, he has been sacked. So Esperance now will have a new coach. And I think it probably comes with the level of high expectations for this Esperance side, because even the coach of Sundowns now, Miguel Cardozo, was formerly the coach of Esperance. And last season, he won the league with Esperance. He played in the final of the CAF Champions League. And after all this, he lost only 4 games throughout his time at Esperance, but he was eventually sacked. So there's a club who sort of seek the highest. They want the best. A little bit of plata and then they are gone. So the coach is gone, Lorenzo is gone, and there's a new one in the forward for, that is, Esperance Tunis. So this man, Maher Kanzari, is the man going to take charge of the Esperance team now. And if I'm a Sundowns fan, I should probably be a little bit shaking because of one reason. This man is your proper defensive-minded coach. He's built a profile for himself for being your typical defensive-minded coach, a master of the low block who thrives on preventing opponents from getting goals as a way of winning matches. So even if you check the games he's played this year with his former club, that Stade Tunisien, he played 11 games this year in 2025, and only 2 of those games he got more than 1 goal. So out of 9 of the 11 games he played this year, he either scored 1 goal or less than 1 goal. So he cares less about scoring goals, but he cares more about defending his goal. And this is the new man in charge of Esperance Tunis, coming to play the Champions League quarterfinal against Mamelodi Sundowns. So let's get into the players who are expected to get onto the field to man the team for, that is, Maher, and that is Esperance team. So let me first touch on the midfield throw, because I think that is where a lot of the game will be based on. Only because I don't expect Esperance to really go all out to try and attack and win the game. So, of course, the midfielders will count a lot. And as I mentioned earlier on, the main man in midfield, Roger Olu, is not available. He's out injured. So a lot of the onus will fall on 2 players also from West Africa. We have that is Odelo, who comes from Nigeria in that midfield for Esperance, and also Konate, who comes from the Ivory Coast, also in that midfield for Esperance. So these two men are expected to be there. I'm sure he's going to play these two as the pivots because this is the kind of game he's not going all out to attack. So these two surely will play as the two pivots for Esperance, and they possess the qualities of shutting down opponents. I mean, reading opponents and then just shutting them down, making some good tackles, closing up spaces. And that's the attribute of these two players. And they also have the attribute of the ability to ping long balls to attackers. And I think that's probably how the coach is going to strategize in this game against Esperance. Then in addition to them, there's probably Hussam Feka, who is the creative one in midfield. He knows who and where to sort of give the passes to. 1-2 passes and then a chance is created for taker. So I'm sure he's probably also going to get his time in the Esperance. But I can't talk about this Esperance without talking about this man, Yusuf Belali, who's had a fantastic season. He started so good. Started very, very good with Esperance this season. He's the top scorer for Esperance in the league so far. In the Champions League, he's the top assist maker for Esperance. So there's a man who scores, he creates, a lot runs through him. So he's going to come crucial. That is on the few times that I expect Esperance hits on the counter break. I think a lot will probably run through this man, Yusuf Belali. But Belali himself comes as a full package. So I want you to just watch this. Watch this. This is Belali. He's taking a penalty kick. He takes the penalty and the goalkeeper saves it. For any other player, maybe the head goes down, he'll try and go for a rebound, maybe some sort of normal reaction. But what does Belali do? He takes a bicycle kick per rebound. Yes, that's the kind of player who has insane mentality, who thinks after I miss a penalty, I'm going for the follow through with a bicycle kick. So it's probably going to count a lot in this game for that is Esperance. So it's a bit difficult to predict how the Esperance team is going to play because there's a new coach, there's a new sheriff, a new Kafa in town, and we haven't really seen him play and how he plays. But I want to highlight a few bits of things from the previous coach, since the team is the same team and they are probably much more adapt to the style of play. So maybe they might sort of show a little bit of instinct of it. So you just watch this video of one of the games Esperance played. You can see how they went very close to the penalty area just to do the cutback. So just take a look at this and note this one. Look at the players in white. You can see that whilst the player was about to do the cutback, they were not focused about defending the 6-yard box. They're all focusing about covering in front of that area because they know the cutback is coming in. If you just check this one too, you can see that line, that space in front of the goalkeeper is left open. Nobody's marking that space. We don't want to mark the man doing the cutback because they know that they go very close to the penalty box and then do the pullback or the cutback for an oncoming player to land on the shot. So that was from the previous coach. Probably things might change with this man, Maher, who is the new sheriff, the new Kafa in town. So let me get into the Mamelodi Sundowns team now and talk about Sundowns. So I think this game is coming at the perfect time for Sundowns because they are welcoming probably two of the most important players in the team. And we've seen pictures of Musobi Vala training. So it means he's literally back from injury to join the Mamelodi Sundowns team. So we've also seen pictures of Semba Zwane, another important piece of the Mamelodi Sundowns team, also in training. So he's fit and back to join the game. Is this game really the perfect time to watch them come back? I don't really think so because, I mean, coming from a long injury, especially for a player like Zwane, coming from a long injury and coming straight into the team to play such a crucial game against a team who are going to really frustrate you. Maybe the last 10, 15 minutes, if Sundowns have a healthy lead or they don't need to do much, maybe he comes on to sort of build his way steadily back and build his telepathy with the team. So I'm not really putting these three players to start the game for Mamelodi Sundowns in the game against Esperance. But let's get properly into the Sundowns team. And I think this game is, as I mentioned earlier on, the midfielders are going to count a lot in this game because I'm anticipating Esperance to be very tight, very compact, and playing such a low block. Most likely, Sundowns will need some creative players who can find the passes even when there's no spaces. Probably they're meant to do that. It surely has to be the two men in midfield, Jagan Adams alongside Marcelo Allende. So these two, and I think their creativity will have to come to play, how to pick the passes when there's even no passing option, how to sort of give the accurate pass, when someone is making a run from deep. Those rare long passes, those rare tight passes into tight spaces. I think it will have to probably be well drilled for this Sundowns team. But I cannot also talk about Sundowns without talking about this man, Ribeiro Costa. I don't really see him having um, a good day against Esperance, especially because, as I mentioned, they're expected to be very tight in this game and have probably about 2 or 3 players try to mark out Ribeiro Costa. But he's a man who has the quality. I mean, if we give him that space, if they decide to allow him the freedom to operate, he's going to punish them because, and I mean, he has everything he wants from a striker. He can go through about 3 or 4 players. He can find the spaces. He has a very good shooting technique. I mean, he's your kind of good player you'd want to watch and see. So I'm expecting Esperance to really narrow down on Ribeiro and then try to mark him out of the game they play. But finally, this man might also come in handy, Teboho Mokoena, because I mean, if Sundowns try as much as possible and there is no space to operate, they cannot penetrate into the compact setup for Esperance, who will most likely come out to frustrate Mamelodi Sundowns, then you probably need to choose from afar. And who does it better than Teboho Mokoena? I mean, he's shown over and over that that is his specialty, the ability to strike the ball from long yard out and still be able to get the goal. So it's possible he might also come in handy at points when they are finding it so difficult to break the Esperance team. So this season, things are a bit different from Mamelodi Sundowns going into the quarterfinals because in the previous years, I think from 2020, they were always top of their group. They were always top of their group going into the quarterfinals. But this year, they finished second in the group stages. So it's a bit of a different Sundowns side. But is this going to be an advantage or disadvantage? Because I'm thinking that in previous years, because they went through the group stages, literally beating almost everybody, they felt a bit of invincible. But this time around, they've even lost a game already this season to Raja Casablanca. So you can be beaten if you are not disciplined, if you are not focused for the entire 90 minutes, you can easily be beaten. So probably that should maybe be an advantage for Sundowns doing that this year. They are beatable and everybody is going out to fight for themselves in this stage in the Champions League. But also one other thing for Esperance, which could be the advantage, is that psychologically they know that this Mamelodi Sundowns team struggles to sort of keep their things together at these stages. When the knockout stages, they struggle to keep themselves together. There's always a bit of one mistake to commit or the other. There's a bit of one goal to concede and the game gets shut down, the game gets over. So it's probably going to play a bit in the hands of Esperance with a psychological advantage that we just come to Loftus Versford. We get a 0-0 draw, or maybe we get a 1-0 win, and we can go back to Tunisia and then finish the two there. So maybe that could play an advantage for that is Esperance, the psychological bit of that game. So in this game, it's just two way outs for me. The firepower of Sundowns and then the compactability of that is Esperance Tunis. I think whoever comes out best in terms of doing it better is going to come out with a better result from the game. And for Esperance, I'm sure if they get a 0-0 draw, a narrow win for them, they're okay. The result for this game is accomplished. The mission for this game is accomplished. For Sundowns, I'm sure they'd want to get a comfortable victory, maybe a 2, 3, 4 goal margin against Esperance. But my prediction for this game, I think it's going to be a close one because both teams have the quality, but I don't really expect Esperance to showcase their quality in this game. I'm really expecting a compact play from Esperance. So can Sundowns really break them down? I really believe in the tactical efficiency of that is Miguel Cardozo, but Esperance also coming from the new manager bounds. And this thing works a lot in football. When there's a new manager, it's always something that happens to be different with the football club. Can they survive it? I'm thinking Mamelodi Sundowns can survive this one, and I'm tipping my prediction for this game 2-0 Mamelodi Sundowns win at home in the first leg. But you can also tell me your prediction in the comment section. Do you think is going to win this one? Let me know in the comments.